Today, we're talking about 5 game changing strategies to set up a dynamic comprehension based learning environment that captivates and inspires your students. My name is Scott, and you're watching Immediate Immersion, where we're all about comprehension based instruction in the modern language classroom. We'll be right back. First thing you'll want to do is to create a welcoming environment. You want to create visual richness in your classroom. Fill your space with visuals that support language acquisition. Think things like posters, images, and labels in the target language that will help create an immersive environment for your students. Things I like to include are word walls, question word posters, cultural posters, rejoinders, things like that. What you want to use are colorful, engaging materials that draw students in and make the language more accessible. Think of your classroom walls as a living textbook. We talk about these things in our back to school boot camp that's starting really soon. If you're interested to check that out, you can go to mm.us/bootcamp. Now, if you teach virtually, I've got a tip for you. You can use digital backgrounds and virtual posters in your online classroom to keep the environment vibrant and simulating. So you know how you can replace your backgrounds? Do that with something that's culturally appropriate or something that immerses the students in the language. Maybe you have some virtual question word posters that you can integrate. All of this will help your digital students, your virtual students, get immersed in the language as well. Next, you'll want to organize for accessibility. You want to make easy access to all of your resources. Arrange your classrooms so that students can easily access materials. Whether it's books, flashcards, or digital tools, make sure everything is within reach. In my room, I have a back counter and I put my things like my baskets to turn in papers, colored pencils, staplers, hole punchers, all those kinds of supplies are in the back of my room. I have another section where I keep all my books for silent reading time. And I have another section where I keep my stuffed animals in a zoo because I use stuffed animals a lot in my classroom. All of these things minimizes the downtime and keeps the focus on the learning. And you want to organize your space as well to encourage movement and interaction with the materials. Now, if you're teaching virtually, create a well-organized digital library or resource folder where students can easily and quickly find what they need during lessons. So I know in our learning management system, we have something called the library where I can put in files, extra copies of things, resources for my students to access whenever they need. Another thing to think about are interactive spaces. So you want to use interactive whiteboards and zones. Dedicate areas for these interactive activities. This could be a whiteboard for collaborative writing or a corner for role-playing scenarios. These spaces encourage active participation and keep students engaged. So I know in my classroom, I have my classroom set up as a horseshoe, so I have that center area as my stage. Plus, I have different areas in my classroom. So I have where my books are, is by the windows, and we do some activities on the windows. I can put posters up there, or they can analyze things and put sticky notes and things to make things much more engaging. You can also have an area like a parking lot where they can put a sticky note question up there so that you can go ahead, look at them at the end of class, and then address them the next day. If, again, you are working virtually, you're a virtual teacher, you can utilize breakout rooms and collaborative tools like Jamboard or Padlet to create virtual interaction zones that really get your kids collaborating and working together. Another great idea to get your kids in the CI mood is to incorporate flexible seating. So comfortable and adaptable seating is a great idea for your classroom. Provide various seating options to accommodate different learning styles and activities. Beanbags, standing desks, or traditional chairs. Flexibility is the key. I have in my classroom, I have yoga balls, I have beanbags, and then for kids who need that sensory, I don't know what the word for it is, but they're wiggle seats. I have a couple of those that sit on the seat. They're great for ADHD kids or kids who are autistic. It helps them focus more on what's going on in the classroom. But remember, flexibility is the key. My rule in my classroom is you can sit however you'd like as long as you're paying attention. And comfortable seating promotes a relaxed and conducive learning atmosphere so you can reduce that affective filter and really get your kids engaged. Now, if you're teaching virtually, encourage students to create a comfortable learning space at home where they're actually watching on their computers, whether it's a cozy corner, a couch, or a standing desk setup, whatever works for them. Master your classroom with the Back to School Bootcamp. Are you tired of the back to school rush? Our Back to School Bootcamp is here to help. Register now to learn how to manage your classroom like a pro. From creative decor ideas to effective classroom procedures, we've got you covered. Imagine walking into your classroom confident and prepared, ready to inspire and engage your students. Join us and make this your best school year yet. Register now at mm.us/bootcamp and don't miss a single session. Another strategy is to leverage technology. So you can use technology to enhance comprehension-based instruction. Things like interactive apps, language learning software, and digital storytelling tools can make learning more dynamic and interactive. Incorporate tools that facilitate input and interaction in the target language. You've got, your gaming apps like Kahoot, Gimkit that kids really love to play. You also have language learning apps like Duolingo, Babbel, or Rosetta Stone. Or if you teach Spanish, there's lots of things you can do with the Señor Woolley site. So there's lots of things that you can do to incorporate digital and tech tools in the environment to enhance comprehensible input. And if you're that virtual teacher, make the most of digital platforms, interactive features such as quizzes, polls, and interactive presentations to keep students engaged and active in their learning process. Okay, so all of these strategies can transform your classroom into a dynamic, comprehension-based environment that supports language acquisition effectively. Start implementing them today and watch your students thrive. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more great content on comprehension-based teaching. And don't forget to check out one of the 2 videos YouTube has picked just for you. They're packed with more valuable insights. Happy comprehensible input.